Got it.
Perfect. Welcome, Alex Crockford, to Kevjet, the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Kevin, Mr. Kevjet. What do you prefer?
You can call me whatever you want.
What's the origin of Kevjet?
When I was a wee little boy, I was a flight attendant. Somehow I ended up with the nickname Kevjet and it stuck. And it's been shortened to Jet. Anyone in my circle calls me Jet. So you can call me Jet.
All right, good to know. That's a great name. Cool. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah, I did see the way you sign off your messages, thinking, oh, it was Jet and Kevjet, but your name's Kevin, so I've got to ask.
Exactly. So yeah, if you're in my circle, you can call me Jet. So you can call me
Yes.
Jet. I'm glad that you could join us. You were meant to join us for the International Men's Panel, and there were scheduling issues. But the boys seem to think that you did it on purpose, so you could have the show all to yourself.
The truth is out there. No, it was a real shame to miss. I love being in a circle chatting with those boys. We're in a very real nice, tight friendship that really supports each other. So I know that conversation was probably really good. And now I'm all alone without having to lean on those guys who speak very well.
I'll try not to make you cry, and I'll try not to throw the heavy questions at you.
Bring it on.
First of all, tell us about your CrockFit app because I've had a look at it. It's everywhere on social media, which will be another subject we'll touch on. Tell me about it. What made you decide to start that?
Well, I was a personal trainer for the start of my fitness career for many years. And when I was a personal trainer, I had dreams and goals of reaching much more people than the one-to-one person that I was seeing for quite a few years. And from that point, I started to build an online presence and programs. And the programs started in a very standard online PDF kind of format as the digital world started with, but apps were starting to take over. It was around 2019 that I decided to switch it over to an app format and then build the momentum from there onwards. And that's my main job, the main thing that takes up most of my time and energy and focus. And it's an app that originated in health and fitness and workout programs for home and gym and nutrition and things. But as I have developed personally and understood more about well-being and holistic health as a whole, from mental health and spirituality and stretching and yoga and all these other elements, that is being reflected also in my service and my work. So the more qualifications I get or bring in other instructors into the app to do more and more. So the app is becoming a lot more than just build your biceps and get six-pack abs. It's all about being fitter, healthier, and happier and more well-rounded as a human.
Nice. So you mentioned men's mental health. How does that come to play with your clients?
Could look at it in a few ways. From obviously, it's an app, so it's more of an automated, pre-created service. However, alongside of that, I offer myself out continuously for communication, for support, as well as a weekly group chat with everybody. So I'm always there to support on the journey. And then in regards to mental health specifically, I'm always talking about the benefits of and where to go for support, for help, and just making sure that it's a big part of the conversation always, that we are not here just building bodies and losing body fat, but we're working on a sustainable lifestyle that helps you in your health and in your mind and in your life, not just get ripped in a few months and then be unhappy and go around in a bad spiral. And from being a personal trainer to also the experience I've had in building this business and on social media, I've seen the patterns that people take when they have a bad relationship with their health or with themselves generally. And with all of that experience and wisdom, I'm gradually allowing that to be part of my message more and more and more.
How do you cipher through people who are trying to reach out to you? If you know someone's just there to probably just get ripped very quick and then kind of move on. They're not quite in touch with themselves. Do you cipher through that?
It's hard to know up front. Sometimes there might be clues, but because it's hard to know, I often sell them what they want and then give them what they need. So if their upfront goal is to get ripped, then I will respond in their language because they want to get ripped. But as that conversation expands, and if I see that they're only doing things for a single-minded purpose without considering their overall lifestyle and mindfulness and holistic health, then I'll have further conversations or ways to link them up with the right kind of content or ideas with that. So often, you know what men are like as well. Sometimes they might not want to say anything like that, and they might start by saying, I really just want to lose all this fat on my belly. But that's the superficial, the first thing that they want to work on because they're not right kind of confident or comfortable enough to say, I'm really unhealthy in my mind and I hate myself. Sometimes that takes a bit of building a conversation and trust with, first of all.
Sure. I was going to ask, how open are men when they're approaching this subject on the reasons why they're unhappy with their bodies or mentally or just other aspects in their life?
I think everyone's different. It's the classic kind of hairdresser, personal trainer
Yeah.
scenario where some you get a client that it's like no conversations, or you get a client who is coming for a therapy session. So everybody is different. And now that I'm not a personal trainer, I I have moved out of the space of having long consultation type conversations on a general day-to-day basis, how I run my business. But with that saying, sometimes I might have a client that's paying for my app and they have all that they need in the service that I've created and I don't hear from them very much. Or I might have somebody that is in the same service but just really needs a lot more of a weekly communication and might just unravel a bit more of their life outside of just fitness. And I'm there to support them on that. And any time that I feel like it's not within my scope or that they need more support than just me, then I have often said, I really suggest you seek some additional help elsewhere.
Good. So, first of all, tell me one of your favorite success stories.
Type of scenario where the story comes in like they've tried and failed over and over again. I know that I could just give them a quick plan that enables them to try, get a few results, and then fail again. And they're just stuck in this loop. And I find a lot of people are often stuck in a loop, a pattern of trying and failing. And each failure creates more of a lack of confidence in themselves and ability to try again the next time. These couple of success stories in my mind are ones that have really taken on my what I preach all the time about building habits, building a lifestyle, building something that's forever. So these success stories in my head are ones that have got results in a really slow, really sustainable, really consistent way. And I just want to put out there that these success stories aren't getting ripped in 1 month and things like that, because I really just want to help people realize that a success story can be one where you're in 5 years still following the habits that makes you happy, not get in the best shape of your life and then in 2 years you're back to where you are or worse. So the success stories in my mind are the ones that are still around and they go to the gym or they do their sports or their activity, they're eating healthy and they're happy and they're developing themselves and they're improving their life and their relationship and things like those.
You've built a brand for yourself, and it's obviously taken a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. Take me back to the teenage Alex. Kind of take me into your mind, and what did you have in your mind? Where were you going to be at this stage in your life? And what were you going to be doing? Did you always know you were going to be doing this?
Not specifically, no. I knew it was activity, sports, fitness. That's always been my driver. It's always been the thing ahead of me. But I remember in college choosing a university to go to, knowing that it was going to be sports related, sports science, not truly deciding what that was going to lead into. I was like, I guess I'll be a personal trainer. It wasn't like a strong thing. I knew the direction and I was waiting for. I mean, it's so confusing being that age. It's like, don't know what you want to do. So I've had dreams and goals, but I've always been very good at just looking at what's right in front of me and going after that, and what's right in front of me and going after that. So when I was a teenager, I did have pictures of like magazine covers, like the fit guy. It's like, how can I get a body like that? My first goal then was how to get a body like that. And it was years later that I was like, actually, how do I be on the cover of these magazines as
Of
well?
course.
So I've been very good at just focusing on what's ahead of me. And I never thought about when I'm in my 30s, what will I be doing? I've always thought about just the dreams that I want. How can I get there as fast as possible?
So you've managed to hit the magazine covers. You've done that. What's your goal at this point? Because you're at that level that you thought, this is what I want to do. This is the goal I want to reach. So
Yeah.
what's the next goal? Do you have a goalpost?
Anyone driven and ambitious hopefully will agree and understand this feeling of reaching your goals and knowing that it just births a new goal. And and if you're driven, then that's a natural thing. And that has always happened to me. What felt impossible or felt like the top of a mountain only gave me the view of another mountain to climb. And it took me a few years to get to grips mentally with that of like, I think some goals I've approached maybe I'll be happy when I achieve this goal. And achieving goals and being happy for that split second before the next goal is birthed made me realize I need to be happy every day, not just when I achieve these things. So it took me a while to find this balance of ambition and gratitude and happiness all intertwined. So I think I've managed to build that quite nicely, but the goals just continue to get bigger and bigger, that's for sure. And I keep dreaming bigger and bigger. Um, and there's lots of different categories of goals that I have, whether it's in my app business and the impact that has. I'm becoming an actor now as well. So the goals of becoming a big movie star and having fun in that industry, or my relationship and family goals of building a family and having a nice, comfortable, abundant life there. But I guess all of these goals sit within like one umbrella of a goal or purpose. And it's taken me a few years to gain the clarity personally of what that purpose might be. So now that I have that purpose, every action that I take, or every project I undertake, or every thing that I agree to do needs to sit within that purpose umbrella, even if they're quite traditionally different, like acting and fitness and whatever might feel different. But as long as I understand that it's within my framework of purpose, then
I was gonna say, looking at your social media, so your fitness and acting and so modeling, all those three kind of tie in together because it has the same look. And you'd think that it would be such an easy thing to fall into these different categories, but is it in reality?
I don't think too easy. I guess fitness and modeling is quite a maybe a simple connection, and that was my initial connection many years ago when I started to become a fitness model and did all of that work and social media. It all kind of ties in together, and maybe acting could be an easy thing to do there. But what I'm finding with acting is the work that I did to build up my fitness modeling and modeling career, all the networking and the hard work and starting from zero kind of feel, I kind of feel like I have done that and am doing that again with acting. I probably could try and use the following that I have, use the look that I have, and try to take advantage of the scenario. But I chose very consciously to not go and shout about my existing career and just let my acting and networking do the work. And if they find out about the other aspects of my career, then that's an additional bonus. So it could have been easier than it is, maybe, but I'm taking my time and doing it the right way.
Do you find that your social media fans follow you on all platforms, or are they specific to different categories?
I don't know. There's probably like a power fan in the top 5 or 10% that is on all platforms, following all things, and that's awesome. But underneath that, there's probably people on certain platforms like love the YouTube content or love just Instagram or Facebook, etc. And then my Instagram is split into two different accounts. I have one that's a bit more modeling and acting, and there might be a type of person that prefers spending time on there versus the other account. So I don't know. I see faces and names pop up, and if they're on multiple platforms, then I know that supportive.
I just touching on the modeling one, your calendar 2024.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It's something I've never done before. Been on my mind for a while. People have mentioned it for a while, and a photographer, Leo Holden, Snooty Fox, I've worked.
I love his work. I love
His
his work.
work is
Yeah.
amazing. I've shot with him multiple times over many years, and 2 or 3 times we said we should do a calendar one day, and then it was just very late last year that I was like, Leo, let's just do it. Let's do this. It was like I think we shot it in September, so we were leaving it quite late. Yeah, and just went for it. I thought, what am I waiting around for? I don't do OnlyFans, and I'm upsetting some people by not doing OnlyFans, but I'm holding true to my personal integrity. I'm not against OnlyFans, but I'm holding true to what I want to do for myself. So I thought, let's just have a little bit of fun with a calendar, raise the spirits, have some fun, and create some nice photography. And and it went well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sold out, and lots of people have got it at home.
From what I've seen, the photos are amazing.
Where's yours?
I don't know. I didn't get one in the post.
Sorry. I've got a few remaining. I'll send them.
Speaking of OnlyFans, I had a podcast with a OnlyFans creator, and I went into it probably not in a negative mindset, but in a confused mindset. And after that conversation, I was blown away. It was very positive, and he is in such control of everything. Shout out to OnlyFans. So
Yeah.
anyone who's doing that, my mind has totally changed.
Yeah. I'm happy for you to back that up that way. And I hope I don't upset anybody. It's all a personal choice, and
It is
kudos and respect to everyone out there.
definitely great. Now I don't know where to go now that we were talking about OnlyFans.
Where can we go?
Let's talk about acting.
Yeah.
So, what does 2024 look like for you?
Very exciting because in 2023, I've been part of some amazing projects that have not been released. So the first exciting part is multiple films and projects being released, which is going to be a first for my acting career. So it's kind of been me out there working behind the scenes quietly with a few kind of updates on social media, but no one actually having seen anything, to now movies being released, premieres happening. So it's going to feel really exciting. But that's stuff that's already happened, which is one exciting part. But the other part is just progressing ahead, building momentum in more opportunities. And I have a fantastic agent, and the opportunities are coming through. The self-tapes are happening. I'm continuously learning and developing myself as an actor with my coach as well. So I took many years of training before I took any action, and now I'm going to continue that training whilst I'm out there working as well. So let's see where it goes. I have big goals. Let's see what happens.
Good. I'll be looking out for that.
Thank
That's for
you.
sure, and sharing that on my socials.
Thank you.
How do you keep up with your social media? Because you have a lot of social media. Is that something that you're 100% in control of?
I was talking to the boys group earlier today, and we were talking about how is there an app that posts everything, posts one thing onto all platforms, and we were talking about the app that does that, and I said I just I should probably use that because I go around once I've posted it on Instagram, I'll do the same on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube Shorts and Twitter and everywhere else. And they're like, you should not be doing that, Alex. Somebody else should be doing that or something. So yes, it's all me. I'm in complete control of everything. It is quite time consuming, but at this point, I kind of like the control. I do need to sit down and have a think about what the next stage of that would be. But yes, it's all me. I have had help recently in regards to content creation itself, not the posting, but having a videographer and an editor for some types of projects. So it's not all me filming myself, but actually having a day or 2 days per week to have assistance on some interesting pieces of content to improve the quality of the videos and to also delegate editing and things like that. So step by step.
What's your secret to hashtags on Instagram?
I don't know. Does hashtags even do anything now?
I have no idea. That's why I
How
thought I would
bizarre.
ask.
It's gone through phases. It's gone through many phases over the years of using as many hashtags as you can to then to using 30, I think, to then recently like no, six maximum. And now I see creators like you using loads of hashtags again. I have no idea if it's working.
I know I don't either, and I keep being told don't use a hashtag unless there's so many thousand followers to it, and it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is a lot. I feel like social media now is creatively so broad and amazing. Like the whole Reels phenomena that's TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels is amazing because creatively it's opened up the ability to like if you have an idea, you can make it. It's like you can just before, I remember 4 or 5 years ago, it was like you're kind of limited by what the features of the app would be and it's like kind of like this is how we make a post. And it was nice and neat in my head. That neatness kind of always gets ruined by the next feature or idea. But now it is so broad and the way to succeed are so varied. So it can be overwhelming, and it is overwhelming for me. Um, and I often need to take myself out of scrolling and posting and thinking about it to go back to a creative space. And that creative space only happens when I'm away from it, not when I'm scrolling and feeling like my blood is boiling from my lack of likes and views when somebody does something rubbish and it's got 10 million views. So I just throw it away and give up.
Do you pay attention to that?
Not too much. I have moments of like positive analysis of like, I've got to look at my content, what is working, what do I need to do? And in those moments of analyzing, I'm like, what? Sometimes I just don't understand.
Talking about that, when you got married,
Yes.
what happened to your following?
Have you done some research or something? Sometimes these stories just pop up, and I just don't
Is
know
it a
how.
is it a true story?
Yeah, it is a true story. I
Wow.
I got married in 2020. I posted about it and lost loads and loads of followers. Loads, thousands in that moment. So I never did any deep analysis about this, so your guess and anybody else's guesses are as good as mine. First of all, it was mid-pandemic, so there's a chance that it was during that kind of maximum 30 people meetup time. We cancelled our wedding that was a big 100 guest wedding in a lovely venue to have a church wedding of 30 maximum people, uninvited everybody, and had our family in the church with their masks on, and then a marquee get together afterwards. So, we abided by all the silly rules at the time. And so there's that maybe people were upset by that is one
Sure.
thing. And then the more likely response is maybe just upsetting people that I was taken.
Well,
And
that's flattering.
whether they were men or women or both, I'm not sure. But but yes, it happened.
Well, that's influential. That's very Kardashian.
Yeah. Thank you for highlighting the positives.
That's how I would look at it.
Yeah.
But looking over your social media from all your platforms, you must have over 1 million followers.
I think so. Yeah. Generally, counting them all up, that should be over 1 million. Yeah.
Yeah. Does that give you anxiety at all? Do you feel pressure?
I don't think the amount of numbers gives me pressure. I think I put pressure on myself to use the platform I have for for my purpose and for impacting positively the world and fulfilling a worthy duty. So it's not the numbers that scares me, but just using the opportunity wisely and whilst I have the opportunity, probably more so.
Sure. Do you frame your magazine covers?
Yes.
I mean, I was looking at some of them, and I mean, the British GQ, Men's Health, those would be up on my wall in the entrance of my house.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice proud moment and it's just a realization if I look up at them.
I just want to say, if it was myself, they would be up on the wall.
Yeah. So not mine then. No.
No, mine would be next to yours, though.
Yeah, of course. It's a nice moment for me to look at them and remember that I've achieved things that I first thought impossible. And it just reminds me of whatever I think is impossible now, I can achieve. So it's just these little reminders, not for ego, not for awards, but they are just like a few things planted around my house, not just those, but other things like I did this big burpee event one day, a 24-hour burpee event. I have that framed next to the covers for more memories and more reminders that you are so capable of so much if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, and they represent a time in your life as well as an accomplishment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You've done the London and Tokyo marathon.
Yes.
Tell me about
What's
that.
what's the next one?
Yeah, where are you going
Fine.
next?
I don't know. London and Tokyo marathon. Yeah. It's such a long way. Well, like when you run a marathon, you're like, this is so far. Like both times I've thought, like when I've got halfway, like this is so far. How do people do this? I've dragged myself through both of them pretty much. The first one, London Marathon, was like that record-breaking hot summer, or hot spring, and it was really, really hot. And I had a bad knee and forced myself through it and had a terrible day and a terrible time. But I always remember feeling positive throughout, and the energy of the crowd in London is just ridiculous. And I'm a bit of a, I don't know, I guess a performer. I had my name on the front and it just boosts me forwards when people shout your name. I think I'm still paying the price for any damage that I've done to my knee, whether that's physical damage or trauma, emotional and energy trapped there, but lots of work to be done. Forced myself through a few times, a couple of years of bad knees. But and then Tokyo was much better. I got sponsored by this running company and they gave me a coach for a few months and I had a proper running plan before it and I did well. I was really excited by it and it motivated me to maybe pick that up when the time is right. I think maybe my 40s I'll enter into endurance land. I did a Ironman once as well. So I've had a bit of triathlon experience, bit of marathon experience. So I'd like to have some more fun in that area at some stage.
What was the marathon in Tokyo like? Do you take in the scenes or are you just so focused on just making it through?
I personally take in the scenes. I'm never too massively bothered or never take things massively seriously unless it requires me to get a time of some form. But when it's just for me, I'll do my best physically, but I'm never too serious. So I like to look around. So yeah, I really enjoyed Tokyo. It was like a miserable rainy day and it's quite a flat route, but it was nice to go all over the city. Yeah.
Nice. Tell me about when you did the free hug campaign,
Hmm.
because I noticed that's a thing now.
Yeah.
Are you the one who started the whole?
Not the first. Me and my friend who came up with the idea to do this, there were some existing videos out there, and I don't think it was very popular. So we knew that it was going to be a good video to do because it wasn't very common. But now we have seen it quite a lot out there. And I think it's like, it might be 2014 or 2015. And I say this because I did this check recently to see when the 10-year anniversary might be, and I feel like it might be this summer.
Ooh,
That would make it 2014, which is exciting because everybody's asking for a remake of
I
some.
was just gonna say, are we gonna see you out on the streets?
Yeah, I think it's time for a remake of some form. So yeah, that first free hugs video was like one of the first things I didn't have. There was no Instagram account that went onto YouTube and Facebook, and it went viral. And my first Facebook followers, and the first time I've experienced this kind of viral, like my phone going off, like what the hell's going on? And thousands of followers coming in. And to this day, people are like, I've been following you since I found you on Free Hugs and kind of thing. So this does happen. So, and it's amazing. My intention with it is to uplift not only the people that I'm hugging in the moment, but to make a piece of content that makes people smile and makes people feel like there's love in the world and all of this. So
I think
look
the
out
world
this
needs
summer.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Come
So
on, Alex.
this summer, let's do a tour, not just London. Let's find 10 locations around the world and make an epic free hugs video worldwide.
That is amazing. I think Kevjet should tag along.
Yeah.
So you have a vision to inspire the uninspired to live healthier, fitter, and happier lives.
Yeah.
Tell me about that because I think we've touched on it. Why is that so important to you?
Yeah, that vision has been there for a few years and it's expanded and gained clarity over the years. And I feel like especially inspiring the uninspired is key to me because especially when I was in the gym and I saw what other PTs were doing and other online trainers were doing, it felt very easy to get the attention and help people who already have the experience or already in the gym, but there's a huge part of the population who are either unhealthy, unfit, unhappy, and how to reach them and give them hope and give them the action to, or give them the spark to take action for themselves is what's more important, surely, is that's going to have the biggest impact. So that's always been key on my mind from in regards to the way I talk, my brand positioning, my content is I've never wanted to talk to the elite or the super fit people, but to how to connect and resonate with the ones who are struggling with where to start, where to begin, and how to actually make an impact in their health. Back to what I was saying about purpose is that has expanded out from just health and fitness, but well-being as a whole. And I believe that our our civilization, our planet, our humanity is ascending in its frequency, its resonance, and we need everybody to come together as one to raise our vibration. So everything that I do with my work and my life is to inspire people to take the actions in the day to raise their vibration, whatever it might be, and in their activities, their training, their meditation, their dancing, their singing, their reading, their relationships, all of these things.
You are an international model. So with that comes body confidence. Do you feel body confident or do you struggle with that? And the next part of the question is when did you find your body confidence, if that's what you have now?
I don't think it's like a yes or a no answer. For me, it's come in different times where I feel more confident than other times. And I'm always body confident. I'm really confident with with my body and moving around and with myself. But I guess what I've struggled with over the years is getting myself in physical shape, in aesthetics, right from early on. Getting myself in great shape created this high standard for myself. And maybe I created this thought of what everybody else's expectation of me is. So any time that I slip away from what I feel that high standard is, I lose body confidence, don't want to show people my body because their expectation of it is that high standard that I've created. So there are times where I slip out of shape I get busy, just all the normal life scenarios that everybody has, a 2 week holiday or Christmas, or yeah, just busy work where I haven't prioritized my nutrition and training, where I'm just not up to the physical shape that I hold myself to. My body confidence does slip, and I usually try not to show anybody my body until I've sorted stuff out, which kind of I've thought this is kind of anti the whole perfect Instagram scenario. So there has been times where I've taken the photos of myself not feeling good and then showing people. But quite honestly, the response I get back mostly is that you're being silly, we can't tell the difference. And
That's
then
right.
so it's like I don't want to be like, poor me, I'm so fit scenario. But no one will ever truly understand unless you kind of you know you know your own body basically, and you know how confident and comfortable you feel when you're feeling your best. And nobody across the internet saying, oh, we can't tell, you look amazing, is going to make you feel the confidence you get from you going through what makes you feel good about yourself.
Sure, because people from the outside looking in just think, oh my gosh, this is the perfect person. But as an individual, you can always look in the mirror and say, oh, I don't like this about myself, or I don't like that about myself. And you'll always pick something apart. Is there ever a point where you look and you think, this is perfect. I feel great about myself. There's nothing I'm going to change.
I would say something similar or close to that, saying I'm really happy with my body. I love it and I'm so grateful for it and I'm very happy with it. But I could still say, because I have aesthetic goals, I would love that part to be bigger and I'd like to be a bit more defined there. But at the beginning, in the early years, I probably wouldn't have had that healthier relationship approach, and I was continuously driving for that improvement of some form. And even looking back at like my top physique when I did proper like photo shoot prep and dieting for these big photo shoots and stuff.
How crazy is that prep?
It's just 100% dedication. It's like you can get in good shape from a normal life with the right habits, but like I would say that getting super lean requires full commitment of you're going to bed at your normal time, and you're not having the cheat meals and the weekends and everything like that. It's yeah, you got to commit to it.
Does
There
that
are
play on your mental health?
I think I've always been pretty good at finding that balance, but I know for the majority of people it's not a good healthy approach for sure, and it can I probably have been through phases that have not been too mentally positive for me, obsessive calorie counting and saying no to social obligations and being out and the one drinking water and eating no food and things like that. But I I never felt out of control in those moments. I just felt completely driven to the goal in mind that I had. And looking back, it can seem a little crazy and obsessive and not necessary. But sometimes when you have something really you want to achieve, you have to obsess over it. And if you have positive mindset attached to the obsession, then I think it's okay. But you have to have enough self-awareness to know if this is a positive or a negative thing you're doing for yourself.
How do you keep grounded? What grounds you every day?
meditation is a tool I love to use. I go through phases of not doing it every day. But the days that I do, I feel a lot better when that's in my routine. And sometimes I turn up and meditate, my brain is just going crazy, and I feel like, this isn't helpful unless I stick at it and my mind does slow down. But generally, I love to meditate. But time in nature, walking, getting out, putting my devices down, and stretching, listening to music, these kind of things. Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you?
I don't know. I think I am such a crazy, manic, busy person. I have so many different things happening in my world at once. I find it hard to tune out. So I'm still trying to find that. Walking the dogs definitely is my thing at the moment. Just getting outside, finding some green space and fresh air.
Yeah, I think it's an absolute key one that most people, even if you're in a busy city or something, is you should be able to do. Just getting outside, moving your body, not looking at your phone and emails and stuff like that, just for a period of time, just can really help clear the mind, ground you down.
I'm not a sleeper, so I quite often have my phone in my hand at 3 in the morning and I'm posting on social media and all the things that I shouldn't be doing.
I have noticed you're quick at responding to emails.
I'm very quick. Yeah, my phone's not very far from me. I've noticed you reply to emails very late in the evening.
I do. Yeah, it's I am normally in this conflict around 9:30, 10:30 time. I'm like, I've got more to do. Really should go to bed.
I always
Um,
have so much in my mind. I'm a night owl, so I'm like, oh, I really want to do this, and I've got this idea for that, and
yeah,
I just have too much on my mind, and I just have to focus and just do one task and then be happy with that. That's what my goal. That's what I should be doing. That's my 2024
yeah.
goal.
Focus on one thing at a time. Do you get
um,
enough sleep? Like if you go to bed late, do you sleep in late and you get a good enough sleep?
no, so if I do 4 or 5 hours a night, that's my sleep.
You might be in the 0.1% of people that's good enough for,
I
but
think I am, but I also feel exhausted sometimes.
yeah, well, make sure you this year find a way to prioritize that a little bit more for yourself and get that self-care routine and get yourself a bit more sleep.
I know. So we talked about that podcast with the boys, which you famously missed. But here you are. It was for International Men's Day. And the big question was, what makes a man, in your opinion? So I'm going to ask you, what makes a man, Alex?
There's a few ways that I can think of answering this, but I think I'm going to keep it quite simple and hopefully unique. And that is balancing a masculine and a feminine energy in his presence. And that doesn't, like, I think a lot of people think or sense that a feminine energy is about being soft and gentle, but it's more than that. And whenever I've posted or spoken about this in the past, I sometimes get the responses back like, um, assuming that masculine energy is for men and feminine energy is for women, but it's not. Both men and women genders need masculine and feminine energy as a part of their being. So what I see as a man of today and of the future is someone who has the masculine energy elements such as courage and strength and drive and structure and goals and focus of security and financial elements, all of these aspects that makes the masculine energy or a warrior and has the strength ready to fight and be strong, but also balancing with the feminine energy of being compassionate, being honoring his full spectrum of emotions, being available, being vulnerable, being able to connect to his family, friends, and partners, being able to follow his intuition, be in flow state, to be a creator and be creative. And all of these require a balance of both masculine and feminine energy. And I think in today's world and society, I think men, not their fault, being a bit confused about what they think the world wants from them. And we've gone through phases in society of thinking that we don't need the strong masculine man and we want him to be a soft feminine person, and vice versa through different times. It's very confusing. So what I find is the answer is this balance of honoring all these elements.
Good answer.
Thank you.
No pressure. Okay, let's just finish off with some quick fire questions for you. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Yay. Book or a movie?
Movie.
Morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
Music or silence?
Split down the middle for that one. But music.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
What's your go-to dance move when nobody's watching?
Night fever.
Have you ever had a funny celebrity encounter?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Don't know if you can say that.
Exactly. Like just fishing for some things. I was just on holiday last week at this resort. I guess I don't need to. Oh, I don't know. It's not a bad thing. I just don't know if this person would like to be shared with the world where they were.
It was a celebrity.
It was a celebrity, and I guess it wasn't a funny interaction. It was just seeing them there and having a conversation. This is a quick fire round. I'm taking a very long time. So yeah, I'll pass. I can't think.
Okay, there was one, but we won't talk about it.
Yes.
What's the strangest talent that you possess?
When my ears are cold, I can fold it in on itself and it stays. But I don't think they're cold enough because I guess when they're cold, the blood makes it go a bit more rigid. But it's a great party trick. I'll just like fold them both inside and be like, what the hell have you done to your ears?
Where have they gone? Your secret weapon for surviving long meetings. And don't mention this podcast.
Yeah, plug the earphone in, and I'm just listening to Kevjet. Long meetings. Do you want the clean answer or the dirty answer?
There's no filter at Kevjet.
No. I would say comedy, humor.
Sure. What's your favorite book and how has it influenced your life?
Ah, what book have I read recently? I guess one very interesting recently. Yeah, many books have impacted me, but this one's just popped into my mind. It's one called Messages in Water. And, as I've been on this spiritual journey of uncovering lots of amazing mystical information out there about our universe, and I've gone down many rabbit holes about trying to understand physics and the science behind frequency and resonance and all of these aspects. And this one doctor studied that when you freeze water, it creates water crystals. And these crystals have a different geometric pattern or not a geometric pattern of some form. And that pattern changes depending on various different things like what words you say to it, or if it's sitting under a word of love or hate or various different things. And the particles of frozen water are either this beautiful pattern of perfection, or cloudy, misty, dark patterns, or not so much patterns. And he continued his experiments in so many different ways, and even used it for plants and things like that. We all know, we all speak of like give love to your plant and it will grow. It just shows that everything is energy, everything is with thought, everything with intention. And even if you can change the way that water um, holds its information, then imagine the thoughts and the conversations you have about yourself and other people and in this world. So that impacted me greatly on my journey of discovering more and more about this universe. And every day I think about the thoughts and the words that I have on myself and other people,
I love
because
that. I'm going to look up that book.
definitely do. Messages in Water.
Love that. Favorite way to relax?
Just what I did, breathing, breath work. Yeah, slow, deep breaths.
Most important life lesson so far?
Not to avoid the difficult things, going through the difficult things, failing, confronting difficulties and challenges will give you the lessons fast. Avoiding it will only create a pattern and another opportunity to face that lesson again. So you're better off just going through the challenge, learning the lesson, and growing fast.
So true. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Driven, fun, and inspired.
Something you're passionate about that most people don't know.
I guess what I mentioned earlier, elevating the um, frequency of this planet, ascending the human consciousness.
Nothing small then.
Uh, just to like galactic missions.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I think it's probably flying. I always dream of flying.
Most beautiful place you've ever visited?
Amalfi Coast, Italy.
If you could meet your future self, what advice would you ask for?
Tell me what to do. I have no idea what I'm doing.
What's your biggest fear?
Mm, Not achieving my mission.
Do you sing in the shower?
Sometimes with the window closed.
What's the last live concert you've been to?
I watched Tina the musical in West End.
Love it. Seen it 3 times. Which TV show would you love to feature in?
Love Island. Absolutely not. I don't know. TV show. I would love to be. I don't know. What do you see me as a good actor being in on a TV show?
This question was aimed at you.
I've just flipped
I
it
like
around.
how you flip them around. Downton Abbey
Downton Abbey. Put me in a nice old suit with
or,
a
or Bridgerton. Let's put you in Bridgerton.
Bridgeton. Great idea. Let's call them up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be
you'd
fun.
be great. What's your most used emoji?
Um, that laughing face with 2 tears. Yeah.
It's a good one. What does the word friendship mean to you?
Well, I just thought about it then for the first time in that way. And why is it called a friendship? I guess somebody that you would sail on a ship for eternity with, they are your friends.
Great answer. What's your favorite thing about yourself?
I feel I am grounded enough in my own energy to hold space for people to come to me for consolation, for chats, for help, or just a non-judgmental listener.
Good. What's the weirdest thing in your closet?
Yeah, it's a funny question. I've kept all my outfits from the past, and even like the fancy dress outfits, and probably my first or not my first fancy dress outfit, but one job I actually did. I used to be a butler in the buff, so I still have this this little apron and this little bow tie and these little handcuffs. I think I did 3 butler in the buff jobs right at the beginning when I was desperate for like, I want to be out there, give me something to do. And so I've still got that in the closet for a rainy day.
Cooking your Christmas meal. What's your favorite number and why?
8, the symbol of eternity, symbol of an unbroken cycle. And it's also this year, if you count up the 2, the 0, the 2, and the 4, it's going to be a magical year.
Amazing. Thank you, Alex. This has been delightful.
It has. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for fantastic conversation and interesting questions, especially those quick fire ones. That's a long list. I was getting worried.
I skipped through a few as well. I could have really thrown some at you.
Thank God.
Thanks a lot, Alex.
Thank you very much.